Last time, we opened Ruth's diary for the first time. Today, she goes to the threshing floor, and a foreign widow becomes the great-grandmother of the greatest king Israel ever had. Entry 5. Naomi's plan. Ruth 3, 1-5. Imagined interior. Naomi came to me one evening with something different in her eyes. Not grief, not bitterness, something I had not seen in a long time. Purpose. She said, "My daughter, I must find a home for you where you will be well provided for. Boaz is our guardian redeemer. Tonight, he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor." She told me to wash and put on my best clothes and go to the threshing floor. She said, "When he lies down, note the place where he is lying. Then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do." I want you to understand what Naomi was asking me to do. In our culture, in the culture I had adopted when I chose Naomi's people, this was a specific, understood act. Going to a man at night, uncovering his feet, lying down, this was a way of presenting yourself as a candidate for marriage, of asking, without words, for a man to exercise his right as guardian redeemer. It was bold. It was vulnerable. It required trusting that Boaz was the kind of man Naomi believed him to be. And it required trusting that I, a Moabite widow with nothing to offer except my loyalty and my willingness, was worth redeeming. I said to Naomi, "I will do whatever you say." And I went. Entry 6. The threshing floor. Ruth 3, 6-18. Threshing floor was full of people at first, so I waited. I watched from a distance as the men ate and drank and the work wound down for the evening. I watched Boaz, this man who had told me to stay in his fields, who had made sure his workers left extra grain for me, who had blessed me in the name of the God under whose wings I had come to take refuge. I watched him lie down. I noted the place, and when the night was quiet and the camp was still, I went. I uncovered his feet. I laid down. In the middle of the night, something startled him, and he turned and discovered a woman lying at his feet. He said, "Who are you?" And I said, and I want you to hear the courage in these words because they cost me everything I had. "I am your servant Ruth. Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family. Spread your garment over me. Cover me. Protect me. Redeem me." I was a Moabite woman lying at the feet of a Hebrew man in the middle of the night, asking him to take responsibility for my life. There was no dignity in it. There was no safety net. If he had turned me away, if he had been offended or afraid or simply unwilling, I would have had nothing. But Boaz said, "The Lord bless you, my daughter. This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You have not run after younger men, whether rich or poor." He called it kindness, my act of desperation and courage. He called it kindness. He said, "Don't be afraid. I will do for you all you ask." He told me there was another guardian redeemer closer in line than him. He said he would speak to that man in the morning. He said if that man would not redeem me, he would, as surely as the Lord lives. He sent me home before dawn with 6 measures of barley. I went back to Naomi, and I waited. Entry 7, the gate. Ruth 4, 1-12, imagined interior. Boaz went down to the town gate that morning. In Israelite culture, the gate was where legal matters were settled, where witnesses gathered, where decisions were made that shaped the lives of everyone involved. He found the other guardian redeemer. He called him over, and he gathered 10 elders of the town. And then he laid it out. Naomi had a piece of land that belonged to Elimelech. The closer relative had the right to buy it. Did he want to redeem it? The man said yes. And then Boaz said, on the day you buy the land from Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the dead man's widow, in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property. The man then changed his answer. He said, then I cannot redeem it. You redeem it yourself. He took off his sandal. The custom of the time, the legal transfer of the right, and gave it to Boaz. I was not there. I heard it all from Naomi. But I have thought about that moment many times since. The other man said no because of me, because I was a Moabite, because I was foreign, because taking me would complicate his inheritance. And Boaz said yes. Knowing exactly who I was, knowing that I was foreign, knowing that I brought nothing except myself, he said yes anyway. Entry 8, Obed, Ruth 4, 13-17. Boaz and I were married, and the Lord enabled me to conceive. I carried this child the way I had carried every hard thing in the preceding years, with my whole self, holding nothing back. When he was born, the women of Bethlehem gathered around Naomi. They said, "Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer." They said, "He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age." And then they said something that stopped my breath. They said, "Your daughter-in-law, who loves you and who is better to you than 7 sons, has given him birth." Better than 7 sons. In that world, in that culture where sons were everything, where a woman's value was measured by the number of male children she produced, these women looked at Naomi and said, "Your daughter-in-law is better than 7 sons." A Moabite woman, a foreigner, the one who had no business being there, better than 7 sons. Naomi took the child and held him to her chest. The women named him Obed. He means one who serves. Obed became the father of Jesse. Jesse became the father of David, the greatest son Israel ever had. And from David's line, 1,000 years of waiting later, came Jesus of Nazareth, born in Bethlehem, the same Bethlehem I had walked into with nothing but my grief and my loyalty to a God I was still learning. I did not know. I could not have known. But the rose I chose on that day between Moab and Judah, The road I chose when I said, "Where you go, I will go," that road led here. Ruth is one of only 2 women in the entire Bible to have a book named after her. The other is Esther. Ruth was a foreigner, a widow, a woman with no claim on the people of Israel and no right to their promises. And she is in the direct bloodline of Jesus Christ. She is listed by name in Matthew chapter 1, the genealogy of Jesus, right there between Salmon and Boaz, between the great figures of Israel's history. It reads, Salmon the father of Boaz, whose mother was Rahab. Boaz the father of Obed, whose mother was Ruth. Her name in the lineage of the Saviour of the world. A Moabite woman who chose loyalty over comfort, who walked away from everything familiar, who gleaned in a stranger's field, and who lay at a man's feet in the dark and asked to be covered. She was covered by Boaz and by the God under whose wings she came to take refuge. If you are in a foreign season right now, if you are far from everything familiar, if you are starting over with nothing but your faithfulness and your grief, Ruth sees you. And the God who led her to exactly the right field, as it happened, on exactly the right morning, He is still directing your steps. If Ruth's story spoke to you, subscribe and share it. Next time we open a brand new diary. Join us. These women's stories are not finished.